Welcome back, six stringers. This is Bobby D from Don't Fret Guitar Lessons. Do you feel awkward playing the guitar when you first started? Today, I want to speak to you a little bit about why is guitar playing for beginners like playing Twister. We all know and we all been through it. So if you already been through the awkwardness stage of playing guitar, or you're just starting out, we all go through it. Jimi Hendrix, Chuck Berry, nobody was born with the talent coming out of the womb playing the guitar. Every great guitar player, John Mayer, Prince, they all had the same feeling of awkwardness when they first picked up the guitar. And I'm here to tell you and encourage you that you can do it too. You can play the guitar. I remember when I first started out, I said to myself, no way can I do this. This is impossible. But you have to keep pushing and practicing and get through it. And you have to learn the right things. Because if we learn the wrong things, then you'll be practicing the wrong things and you'll be wasting your time. All right, getting back to how awkward it is to play guitar in the beginning, it's because unless you're ambidextrous, our left hand or our weak hand is not used to doing things the same as our right hand or our dominant hand, or vice versa. And I can prove it to you by, did you ever try to throw a ball with your non-dominant hand? If you're right-handed, did you ever try to throw a ball with your left hand? If you're left-handed, did you ever throw a ball with your right hand? And if you did, it feels awkward. How about the old pat the head, rub the belly trick? Did you ever try that? Our mind has two consciousnesses. One is subconscious and one is conscious. So when we're walking and talking to somebody, when we're walking, that's subconscious. You don't have to think about it. But while you're talking, you're thinking and listening to what that person's saying and thinking of what to say. So in order to play the guitar, you have to practice so much that you can do a strumming pattern subconsciously. You're not thinking about it, right? And you might have to think about moving your hand, to what chord. So there's two things you're doing, strumming and moving from chord to chord. All right, so now you know why it feels so awkward to play the guitar. And the only thing we can do about it is practice. Practice your chords. Practice strumming patterns separately. Separate these 3 or 4 things on guitar that you want to do all at once and take them one step at a time. Okay, when we learn how to play chords, in the beginning, it's the most frustrating part. We go from chord to chord. After you learn how to make a chord, all right, then the next step is to move from chord to chord, which to move quickly from chord to chord. All right, I'm going from an E to a G. In the beginning, you won't be able to do it that fast, and you'll have to move one finger at a time. Okay, but when you practice it, you'll be able to move 2 and 3 fingers at a time, over and over. If you want to learn how to make chords, they have chord books. Online, they have, just Google chord shapes, guitar chord shapes, a C chord, an E chord, a D chord. If you Google that, pictures of the chords will come up and tell you what fingers go on what string. And in the beginning, yes, you're going to have to look at your fingers to place them on the correct strings. All right, and it's going to take a while, but you're not going to be able to move that fast. You're going to go like this probably. Then as you practice E to D, it'll come faster and faster. But remember, accuracy builds speed. Speed doesn't build accuracy. If you try to do it fast, you're going to miss. you're going to miss the whole string. It's not going to sound right. Once you start making chords with your fingers, looking at it, hold it on there and study it. Memorize and say to yourself, this is an E chord, this is an E chord. All right. And then another tip is to pull your fingers slightly off the strings and hold them over the strings that make that E chord for a minute at a time. That will build your muscle memory to keep an E shape. I go right back, boom, it's an E. So by lifting off and holding there for a minute, 30 seconds, do it a couple times a day when you're learning the E. Your muscle memory remember that shape, and there's an E. When you're new, try to do 3 chords. Try to learn 3 chords: the E, the A, and the D. All right, with them 3 chords, you could play hundreds of songs. But if you get them 3 chords, there are 9 essential chords, and I have a video. Go to my video list of my channel and look up 9 essential chords, and there I teach you how to play the 9 essential chords. And when you learn chords, you should strum them too. Not just put your fingers on and say, oh, that's an A, that's an A, that's an A, and then move to an A, oh, that's an A, that's an A, that's an A. Put your fingers on there, on the chord, and pluck every string on that E chord. And if they all ring out, that means you're holding the chord right. All right, when you're new, you're not going to get that sound because your fingers are going to be laying down. This is what you're going to hear. You're not even going to hear that. You're going to hear muffled strings. Remember, you have to get your fingertips on the strings. And as your fingers start hurting, that's a good sign because you're going to gain calluses on the tip of your fingers, which is going to push down the strings harder, and you're going to get a better sound when you have calluses on your tip of your fingers, and that takes approximately 2 weeks if you practice every day. If it hurts too much though, stop a day and then pick it up after a day's rest. And when you think you have the chord down and you're holding it right, arpeggiate that chord, which means pick every string. And all the notes sound out, then you have that chord. Fingernails. Your fingernails on your fretting hand should not be higher than the tips of your fingers. Because if your fingernails are too long on your fretting hand, you won't be able to press down enough to make contact with the string on the fret, and it won't have a clear sound. A lot of students tell me their fingers are too short, they're too fat, their hands are too big, they're too small. Anybody can play the guitar. There's a million excuses not to play. All right, there's a guy on YouTube that plays the guitar with just his feet. If you think I'm kidding, I'll put the link below. So there's always a way to adapt. I haven't met anyone where their hands were too short or their fingers were too fat or too long to play the guitar yet. I had someone ask me the other day, how much pressure do I put when I push down my finger on a string? Just enough pressure to touch that string on the metal bar, which is called the fret. All right. Once that string touches the fret, the metal bar, that's all you need. You don't have to smash it down. All right. And you can check it by playing the string and then lightly pressing down. There you go. That's how much pressure. And if you don't get a clear sound after you learn the chords and learn how to fret, your action could be too high on your guitar. And the action is, it's just a string height above the fretboard. That's all it is. If it's too high, if your strings have too much room in between the bottom of the string and your fretboard, then you're going to have to press down further. It's going to take longer, and You really don't want that. Another tip I can give you, gang, is we all start out with cheap guitars. There's nothing wrong with that. But I'm telling you, if you're at home and you're learning and you're practicing and you're really diving into it and things just aren't sounding that good, go to a Guitar Center or Sam Ash. They'll let you play a $1,000 guitar or $1,500 guitar and sit there and try it on that. I guarantee you, you sound better when you play. I'm not trying to sell guitars or anything, just through experience. So stick with practicing and work yourself up to one of them nice guitars. All right, gang. I hope I didn't discourage you. This is supposed to encourage you to play this video because we all went through it. I'm telling you, I remember like it was yesterday. I couldn't get the chords down. I couldn't get them clear. I thought the same thing. My fingers are too fat. I'm not smart enough to play. There's a million excuses not to play, but I'm telling you, you can do it. But it takes practice. All right, gang. Remember, keep practicing. Don't give up. You can do it. You're going to take them small steps, them aha moments, that light bulb moment. All right, take one chord if you're a new beginner. Learn that E chord. When it sounds good, there's your aha moment, your light bulb moment. You got it. Move on to the next chord. Remember, that little anticipation of a little piece of success will make you want to go further and further into your guitar journey. So get them little aha moments, little light bulb moments, little successes. And if you have any questions, please comment below. If you have any problems, comment below and I'll answer them for you. Remember, don't fret the small stuff till we meet you again. May God bless you. Adios.